Why are you here in Alaska?
Basically, my parents came up here working for the Forest Service. They're in the forestry division doing firefighting. They were here for a couple of years. I ended up being born, came to the closest hospital, which is in Anchorage. And my parents met my wife's parents. They ended up being in a car accident and they had a kid in the ICU. They were worried the worst was gonna happen. My wife and I were both born. Everything turned out perfect. Everyone recovered perfectly. My dad had been talking with her dad, convinced him to buy into commercial fishing. They would winter down in Wisconsin, the lower 48, and then her dad would come back up here to commercial fish. And then every summer, they'd come over for dinner all the time. We'd hang out and play and go down the beach, go kayak. And my wife just finally lowered her standards enough where after 24 years, she finally decided to go out with me once and finally getting together after all the time. But it ended up working out for me and her. Hopefully.
That's an incredible love story. You'd never want to give this up.
To me, this is what I've always wanted to do, and I'm doing it, so it's a dream job.
The ultimate adventure, and just the thrill of it as we're sitting in that cockpit, seeing the world below us.
We go all sorts of places, and every day it changes, and that's what makes it fun.
Here at Russ Flying Service, the best way to get around Alaska, which doesn't have a whole lot of roads, is by plane. This is looking good. I'm Michael.
Michael, Kyle.
Nice to meet you, Kyle.
Nice to meet you too.
I feel like James Bond about to take off right from the water.
James Bond, except it's red instead of black or gray, you know?
Do a lot of people have their own planes?
They do, yeah. So there's about 1,200 airplanes on Lake Hood. About 90% of them are privately owned.
I got my first couple lessons when I was about 16 or 17, so I've been flying at least for hire for the last 8 years.
Rest 60, I think that's ready to go west. We'll be 2 over past departure.
All right, here we go.
You feel that power?
They keep this whole area nice and groomed and smooth. Lake Hood's actually the biggest seaplane base in the world.
More seaplanes right down there than anywhere else in the entire world?
In one congested area anyway.
Breathtaking up here.
If you look down at the Alaska range, the tallest peaks that you can see all the way down there are all active volcanoes. They're all steaming.
People think of Hawaii as the place for volcanoes, but it's actually parts of Alaska.
All the way up to here is all part of the Ring of Fire.
You guys have around 3 million lakes?
If you included all the unnamed lakes, I guess you'd probably have more than that. There's your first glacier.
Glacier basically means that the ice is there year-round, and it scrapes at the rocks, creating mountainous terrain we see after, huh?
Yep, yeah, it'll scrape up and tear up and dig into whatever it's going through. So it'll actually eat away the side of this mountain just like a river would through a canyon.
Nature can change its course very quickly, and it will too. I mean, the weather will come in, wind picks up. It makes you respect it, that's for sure.
We just landed here in the Prince William Sound. This beach is only accessible by boat or plane. There's not a person for literally miles. Private beach. The water is so clear, you can see every rock down there. This is glacier melt that's coming and creating one of the deepest waterways in all of Alaska. Hey, we got a two-skipper. We got a two-skip. So Kyle, here we are, nobody for miles around, but this is your life. And
Yep.
You've been doing this since you were a kid.
I grew up the other side of Prince William Sound here, and the only way in was by boat or plane. There was no road.
You'd never want to give this up.
To me, this is what I've always wanted to do, and I'm doing it, so it's a dream job.
The ultimate adventure, and just the thrill of it as we're sitting in that cockpit, seeing the world below us. It's just amazing.
We go all sorts of places, and every day it changes, and that's what makes it fun.
One of the best adventures I've ever had. Now I gotta get back to good old Anchorage. I owe you big time.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yep,
This
thanks
was a
for-
blast out
Yeah,
there.
good.